I was like, what's dangerous about it? He's like, there's like street gangs around here, and you know, it might be cheap for you to stay here, but you know, it might come at a price. If somebody sees you walking around here, they will absolutely take you to the cleaners. One of those days that just tries to break you again and again and again, and it will not give up until you submit to it. Good morning, guys. We are about to go to the airport and we're going to fly to another country that I'm really excited to see. Leaving Ethiopia, it's been a good time here, but time to take it to the next level. So let's go to the airport and head to another country. Are you from Addis?
No, Addis outside Gondar.
Gondar? I was just in Gondar.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You see Palace, Facilities.
The baboons?
Palace.
Palace. Oh, the castle. Yeah, went there. Thank you. Okay. Bye. Alright guys, so at the airport through immigration and everything, but the flight has been delayed by like 2 hours or something, so gotta kill some time, but Ethiopian Airlines have kindly given us lounge access, which is pretty cool. Now we're just gonna wait for a few hours and maybe get some snacks.
Later.
So Ethiopian Airlines have fed us now. It's like an hour and a half later, and we've still got like 20 minutes and then we'll be boarding. So shout out to Ethiopian Airlines for hooking us up with some lunch. I would have shown it to you, but I was super hungry, so I just ate it and forgot. I'm sorry about that. Thank you. Bye. Alright guys, getting on the flight. It was another like half an hour and 40 minutes delayed, but we got there. Hello. 6, airport 1876. Alright guys, so we're currently actually in Kilimanjaro, which is kind of crazy. We're supposed to be going to Nairobi, Kenya, but we dropped down to the runway in Nairobi and there was just so much rain, so we dropped down and then had to sweep back up. I'll explain more later. Gonna go back into my seat and we're fueling up here in Tanzania, and then we'll go back and try land in Nairobi, Kenya again. So wish us luck. What a day. Thanks. Bye. Guys, I do not know how to explain what just happened. That was an insane day. Seriously, one of those days that just tries to break you again and again and again, and it will not give up until you submit to it. Oh, okay, where do I start? The flight was meant to leave this morning at 11:20, and it was supposed to arrive here in Nairobi at about 1:30 p.m. Right now it's 10:30 p.m. As you saw, we didn't end up leaving at 11:20. It was delayed by 3 hours. Originally delayed by 2 hours, then 3 hours. They did feed us, which was nice. And we flew for 2 hours. We're coming into Nairobi. You see those slow motion clips of like the foggy city, that really kind of eerie look. That was Nairobi. About to touch down on the runway, and then he's just like, nah, and just takes off again. it's raining super hard, and then he's like, alright guys, so this is the pilot, the weather's not that good, so we're going to turn around and come back and try again. Come back down at the runway like 15 minutes later after doing a loop. He's about to touch down and he's like, nah, and just takes off again. And then he's like, alright guys, the weather's too bad, we're going to Tanzania.
Everybody strap in!
So we fly Tanzania. I'm pretty sure we flew past Kilimanjaro. Like, I saw the base of it, I think. I'm not sure. We landed at Kilimanjaro International Airport, which was super epic. But we couldn't see the top of the mountain because it was in cloud, sadly. But cool to kind of go there in a way. We stayed at Kilimanjaro. That's where I talked to you in the toilet of the plane. We stayed there for maybe an hour, and then we flew back to Nairobi, touchdown. Touchdown at Nairobi probably 2.5 hours ago. Actually longer than that. The whole process, it was supposed to be a 2-hour flight. It ended up taking 9 hours. I buy a SIM card straight away and put heaps of data on it just so I can make sure that I can upload videos, because I know my videos are super sporadic, and that's because of the locations I've been in and the access to internet has not been great in Ethiopia. So as soon as I got to Kenya, I'm like, I'm getting a SIM card and I'm putting lots of data on it.
This ends now!
I put 7.5 gigabytes of data on my SIM card so I can upload videos. Cool an Uber driver was the absolute man. He was so nice, so incredibly cool.
Huh? Fingers.
Other people I've met, the Airbnb host where I am now, I'll get to that in a second, and the journey to get here and actually the area where I'm staying. He's super kind, he's called Felix. Anyway, so jump in the taxi. We didn't even leave the airport and we get bumper to bumper traffic. The whole journey took about 2.5 hours to get from the airport to the city because of the traffic, using some of my data on my phone, and then the SIM cuts. Like, just stops working. I call up the phone company and they've got really good customer service, perfect English. The first woman helps me out and she's like, it should be working. I'm like, okay, thank you. It doesn't work, so I call her back, go on hold again, and then another person answers. I get the phone sorted out, no worries. I don't want this to sound like a complaining vlog, I just want to share with you sometimes traveling isn't always sunshine and roses, and today there wasn't much sunshine, it was raining all day, in more ways than one. Poor guy Felix, the Airbnb host, he's been waiting here for me basically all day for me because my flight was supposed to get here like 20 years ago.
I waited for you for 7 years!
Anyway, the taxi driver, we were pulling in, we had the windows down, then we get to this part of town and he puts the windows up, locks the doors. I was kind of thinking like, what's going on here, you know? And he's like, just be careful, this is not really the best part of town. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, people will snatch your things around here. What's dangerous about it? He's like, well, there's like street gangs around here and there's street boys. He points to people, there's like these sketchy looking characters all over the sides of the road. And he's like, you know, it might be cheap for you to stay here, but you know, it might come at a price. I was like, oh god, like, am I gonna get mugged tonight? Is this like the worst area of Nairobi? He's like, yeah, this is probably the most dangerous part of the city. I'm like, oh,
God damn!
just the icing on the cake, you know. Anyway, we arrive at the apartment. He's like, I'm gonna walk you in there. I'm not gonna let you walk there by yourself. So legend Uber driver walks me through and then hands me over to the security guard. There's 2 security guards down the bottom, 24 hours a day. And I was like to Felix, the Airbnb host, is this a dangerous part of the city? He's like, yeah, it's not too bad. Meaning, yes, definitely it is. Is there somewhere I can get some water around here? He's like, there's some water in the fridge, you should just drink that and then tomorrow when it's light, go out. If somebody sees you walking around here, they will absolutely take you to the cleaners. They will take all your stuff. When we're arriving, I had my headphones on. The Uber driver's like, put those away because someone will snatch them off your neck. Oh god. You know, this is one of those days you're just like smashing your head against the wall, metaphorically, you know, but you've just got to keep fighting. One thing that, you know, puts everything in perspective, on the way here we saw a massive car crash, and so it can always be worse. That's what, you know, you've got to keep telling yourself in situations like this in Africa. What a trip. Alright guys, I'm going to finish the video there, enough talking, but tomorrow we'll go explore. He said not even during the day to walk around with valuables in this area, so I'll probably get an Uber out of this area tomorrow and go explore other parts of the city and film it. I am staying here tomorrow night, but I don't think I'll see what happens, but I think I'll listen to my friend's advice and go somewhere else. I'll show you this Airbnb tomorrow as well and tell you more about the information about that. Alright guys, I'm absolutely wiped out. In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening and good night from Kenya. Thank you so much for watching. Are you from Addis?
No, Addis outside Gondar.
Gondar.
Yeah.
I was just in Gondar.
Oh, okay. You see Palace, Fasilides,
The baboons?
Palace.
Palace.
Yeah.
Oh, the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, went there. And the bark.
Okay.
Yeah.